Last episode we took over at Aston Villa, but back-to-back losses meant it was a disastrous start. Today though, with over £80 million in the bank, it's time to make some big transfers. And as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. Now, after a solid start to the season beating Newcastle 1-0 in our Premier League debut, back-to-back losses have seen us slip down to 12th place in the table, and we've only scored 2 goals to our name so far this campaign. Now, in real life, Ollie Watkins is absolutely lighting up the Premier League, but unfortunately in this career mode, the same can't be said for him. It's 3 games, it's no goals and no assists, and only a 5.8 rating in the Premier League. And with that man being the only man to start up front for us this campaign, with the youngster Duran off on loan at Brentford, I'm definitely going to need to start this episode by bringing in someone who can compete with the 27-year-old Englishman. Now, with £81 million still left in the transfer budget, I've got plenty of cash to play with. And with some of your recommendations in the comments, as you can see, I've got plenty of options to choose from as well. However, with me only having just a matter of days until the transfer window slams shut, you can also see that I'm not going to have the opportunity to properly scout out some of these players. I'm not going to be able to check what their ratings are, and I'm also not going to be able to know how much I should pay for some of these new signings. And so with that in mind, I'm going to have to take a little bit of a gamble and see what I can pull out of the bag. And with me making the decision to sign a man who scored 33 goals in just 48 appearances for Feyenoord in the Dutch league, and someone who's now racked up 24 appearances for his national side despite only being 22 years of age, we are about to welcome our second signing of the summer. That is right, it is the Mexican Santiago Tomas Jimenez as he joins Aston Villa for £40 million. As you can see, he's got the same overall rating as Ollie Watkins, but he is 5 years his junior at just 22 years of age. He's got a high attacking work rate and he's got pretty decent stats right across the board. Plus the fact that he's 6 foot and left footed, he offers us a completely different dimension up front. However, with £36 million still left in the budget, I reckon we've got just enough to bring in one more player. Now, after bringing in the Frenchman Sacha Boey to play on the right-hand side of my defence, it leaves the left-hand side of my defence and Luca Digne to be the weakest part of my starting 11. And with him being just 79 rated and 30 years of age, he is highly unlikely to improve any further. And whilst I do have the 80 rated Spaniard Alex Moreno, with him also pushing 30, I think it's very unlikely that he too is going to improve much in the future. And so as we count down the final hours of transfer deadline day, I am making the bold swoop to try and snatch a player from one of our Premier League rivals. It's a man who's been lighting up the Premier League and managed to rack up over 41 appearances for Brighton and Hove Albion. And it's another man with international experience at the highest level, racking up 37 appearances for Ecuador, as we say hello to Pervis Estupiñán, who joins the club for £25 million. Technically, he's got the same overall rating as Alex Moreno, but with 5 years his junior and having decent stats all across the board, I'm confident he can become our long-term left-back option. And with me deciding to move him straight into my starting 11, it means that there is no place for Luca Digne. And so with that in mind, I have decided to put the 30-year-old Frenchman back on the transfer list. However, strangely enough, with the transfer window counting down, it was only once it slammed shut that Chelsea decided to put in a £13.8 million offer for him, that whilst we were more than happy to accept, we'll only see him depart the club in January. For now though, with our attentions turning back to the Premier League and with us dropping down to 15th place, just 1 point above the relegation zone, it is time for our new signings to finally get the chance to impress. But it is not going to be an easy occasion to do just that, as we head over to Anfield in what is going to be one of the toughest games of the season so far. A huge game, and a game that we must get 3 points from, as we face off against Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool in a huge game on Merseyside. And it is a game that Estupiñán will be able to make his debut on, as he starts at left back. Pau Torres, Konza and Sacha Boey make up the rest of my defence, with Martinez starting in goal. Kamara, Tielemans and McGinn will start in the centre of the park, with Diaby and also Zaniolo starting on the left-hand side. Jimenez, though, will have to wait for his starting debut, as he can only make the bench, as Ollie Watkins will take his place up front. Carvajal for Liverpool, chased down by Zaniolo. That is exactly the sort of pressing start that I want to make inside the opening 5 minutes. What on earth was Adrian, the goalkeeper, doing there? All over the shop and made a bit of a meal of that one. Zaniolo into Yuri Tielemans. This has been a really good start so far, but just as I say that, we go and give the ball away really cheaply there. And Luis Diaz has the pace to try and burst away from my defenders. Konza comes across. Brilliant challenge from the central defensive partner there. And he now brings the ball forward into Moussa Diaby. And he's got space to run into here, but I'm going to try and cut inside. I don't have any options whatsoever, so he's going to strike from distance. And he hits the bar. Unbelievable from the Frenchman. It's nodded down. I was looking for the head of Ollie Watkins, I can't quite find him, and Liverpool will get the ball clear here. Carvajal with the throw into McAllister. Carvajal gets it back. He's chased down, but he manages to find a ball into Darwin Núñez, who's dropped deep. He's being chased down by one of my central defensive midfielders, and it is that man, Kamara, who wins the ball back. Can he try and release Ollie Watkins, who takes it really nicely? I'm going to try and release Moussa Diaby. He's got a ball inside if he can find it. He does find a ball into Yuri Tielemans. Yuri Tielemans strikes, and he puts it wide. Well, it's been a much better start here in the opening 20 minutes than it has been in our last few games, but we have to make sure that we make it count. We cannot afford to lose 3 games on the bounce here, but this is arguably going to be the most difficult one as Luis Diaz just gets crowded out, but somehow manages to wriggle away from trouble, and he still managed to find a ball into Darwin Núñez, but again, tracking back well. This is fantastic play from Aston Villa here. Ollie Watkins tries to feed a ball into Moussa Diaby, and that man just cannot seem to find his feet in the opening few games of the Premier League campaign so far. Virgil van Dijk to bring the ball out of defence and plays it down the line into the path of Mo Salah. Nice short ball into McAllister. McAllister, though, chased down by McGinn. Wonderful challenge again. We are pressing Liverpool so high here. This has been a great attacking performance so far, and Zaniolo now to burst down the left-hand side, feed a ball across to absolutely no one. Luis Diaz. Oh, another brilliant challenge, this time by Sacha Boey, and he can surely try and release Ollie Watkins. It's straight into his path, though. We've got men over, though. Can Ollie Watkins get past Virgil van Dijk? He can't. That man is really struggling up front for us this season. Into Darwin Núñez. Surely he's got Mo Salah on the right-hand side. Doesn't look for him, though. Continues his run and brings it forward unopposed here. Trying to put a challenge in, but no one can. Lovely footwork from Darwin Núñez. He continues his run. Fires a ball into the back post. It's headed clear by my right back. That is the first real opportunity that Liverpool have had in front of our goal as Diaby tried to get away as the referee blows for half-time. Well, it's 0-0 here. We are still yet to find the breakthrough, and of the two teams, we have certainly been the better one. But we cannot seem to find the back of the net, and we must not live to regret these moments. Otherwise, I'm sure Liverpool will be far superior here in the second half. Kamara, he gives the ball away to Luis Diaz now, and he can stretch his legs, goes past one of my defenders, tries to go past Kamara, does go past Kamara. Can he get past Sacha Boey? No, he can't. That man has been very, very good today. Virgil van Dijk. Out to Carvajal. McAllister, nice little one-touch pass into Curtis Jones. Liverpool trying to find an opening here, dancing around my midfield. Darwin Núñez takes it really nicely, forces a good save out of Martinez. And with 60 minutes on the clock here and is still yet to try and find an opening, I am going to try and shift gears. I'm going to try and see if I can find an opportunity here by putting 2 strikers up front. It does mean that our captain McGinn will be going off, but it also means it's a wonderful opportunity for Santiago Jimenez to make his debut and try and impress this Aston Villa faithful. Liverpool will have a corner though, and it's one it looks like they're going to go short here. McAllister does go short too. Mo Salah flings it across, headed away by Pau Torres, only out as far as Canate. Back to McAllister, into Moreno. What a save. Well, Liverpool have in this second half just started to turn up the gears here, and they, out of the two teams, do look like the more likely here. But it was a good piece of defending to block the pass into the box, but Mo Salah dances around one of my defenders. McAllister strikes. Martinez with another save. Liverpool with their third corner, and once again they're going to go short here. Luis Diaz fires it across. This time it's headed over the bar. I thought it was a Liverpool head, but it seemingly came off one of my defenders, and yet again they've got another corner, and yet again they fling it in. This time it's Diogo Costa. It's another big save. My word, Martinez is keeping us in the game here in this second half. Konza to try and bring it out of defence. Oh, it's so poor. He's giving it away really cheaply to McAllister now, and I've got to try and hold the line here. Stop McAllister from striking. What a piece of defending from Pau Torres. Tielemans now. Into Zaniolo. Zaniolo is hopefully going to try and release Jimenez down this left-hand side for his first opportunity to try and stretch his legs. Instead, he cuts back inside and looks for a nice ball, but gives it away with his first pass in an Aston Villa shirt, and that is not the start he nor I would have wanted. Now McAllister has the opportunity to break forward. End-to-end stuff here in the second half here at Anfield. Mo Salah cuts back inside looking for McAllister, gets it back from him. This is a brilliant opportunity that Liverpool have fashioned. Mo Salah continues his run in the box as Stupinian, the new signing, with a huge challenge, and what a challenge that could turn out to be. Moussa Diaby plays a wonderful ball down the left-hand side into Zaniolo. Liverpool so open here, and Zaniolo has the opportunity to bring it forward. But it's a brilliant interception from Virgil van Dijk. Tried to play the ball into Jimenez. It just wasn't the right one to play, and Liverpool get it clear once again. Moussa Diaby. We are deep into stoppage time here, but we have the opportunity to try and bring the ball forward and try and fashion an opportunity. But Jimenez came on, and he's been really poor, it has to be said, since he's come on. He hasn't done anything at all as the referee blows for full time. Well, it's another game finished, and it's another game but without a win. Neither team able to find the back of the net here. Defensively, we were solid, but going forward, yet again, we've got a lot of questions to be answered. Full time here at Anfield, it finishes Liverpool 0, Aston Villa 0. Now, to be fair, my decision to switch us to a 4-4-2 formation was a bit of a last-ditch attempt to try and find the back of the net, and seemingly it did not pay off. It felt like the team were a lot more open, and to be honest, I felt far more comfortable with this formation. Another poor performance from Ollie Watkins, though, and a really poor debut from Santiago Jimenez, only picking up a 5.1 rating. I can't seem to get the best out of my strikers so far this season. Let me know down in the comments below what you would do and how you would try and lift the spirits up front here for Aston Villa Football Club. And frustratingly, it seems like the bad news just keeps on coming, as despite Ollie Watkins finally getting on the score sheet, his single goal in the 30th minute was not enough as we lose at home, this time to Crystal Palace. 2-1. Only 4 points from our opening 5 games, and we are just 1 point above the relegation zone in 16th place. I can't help but feel like this team needs something else to try and take their focus away from our struggles in the Premier League. And so fortunately enough, the Europa Conference League has come at the perfect time. We've been drawn in a group with AZ Alkmaar, Legia Warsaw and Zepski OSK in a group that we should easily achieve first place in. And so with us heading over to the Netherlands to face off against AZ Alkmaar in our opening game in the Europa Conference League, it is definitely time to put those Premier League struggles to bed and hopefully see if we can do a little bit better this time around in Europe. As it is our first game in Europe, I have decided to stick with my usual starting 11. The only change that I have made is that the goal scorer in a previous game last episode, Leon Bailey, comes in on the left-hand side of midfield as Zaniolo drops out of the squad and he's replaced by Jacob Ramsey on the bench. Odegaard bursting down the right-hand side, being chased down by the new signing Estupinian, and Estupinian does a really good job of defending. He has been very good since coming in the summer transfer window. It's now our captain, our leader, McGinn, to bring the ball forward. And he finds Estupinian, who's burst into the centre here. He's going to fire a ball all the way out to Sacha Bowie, the other new signing on the other side of defence. He goes and gives the ball away really cheaply and the attack breaks down. Sacha Bowie, though, has the opportunity to make amends here as he tries to bring the ball infield, and he finds a nice pass into John McGinn. McGinn's going to try and feed this all the way out wide to Estupinian. He does a really good job of doing so, and he takes it down really nicely, but he can't seem to find an option in the centre of the park, so instead goes back infield to John McGinn. He's going to try and twist his way past this stubborn AZ Alkmaar defence here, but they are just not letting us through. They are absolutely locked inside the penalty areas. Diaby has an opportunity to strike, falls to Tielemans, and it goes wide. Estupinian again. He's certainly been the best player on the pitch so far in this opening 22 minutes as McGinn tries to wriggle away from this AZ Alkmaar defence. They are so stubborn at the back, though. It is unbelievable. It is total backs to the walls job, even inside the opening half an hour here, but we still can't seem to break them down. Kamara tries to play it short into McGinn. He's going to strike from distance, place it against the defender, and it falls to Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins gets there ahead of the last man, and he puts us 1-0 up here in Europe. Well, he's finally got his first goal in the Premier League, and has that goal lifted his spirits? He had the pace and determination to get away from the final defender, and a brilliant volley past the goalkeeper to give him no chance, and to get his first goal of this European campaign. It's 1-0 Aston Villa here in the Netherlands. Estupinian again. Oh, really nice to get away from the challenge there, and he's got an option of Leon Bailey on the left-hand side, who cuts back in, looking for McGinn. McGinn, tried to feed it into Diaby. Good defending in the end, though. Martins Indy. AZ Alkmaar have barely got out of their own half so far in this game, and this is their first foray into my half here, and it's a good foray, as now they've got an opportunity to strike. They strike it straight at Martinez, makes a bit of a meal of it, but we do about manage to get the ball clear. Musa Diaby, nice little dink ball over to McGinn. He heads it down into the path of Estupinian, and Estupinian feeds in Ollie Watkins, and Ollie Watkins can now try and drive forward. Ollie Watkins to strike, just puts it wide. Musa Diaby at the start of the second half to try and burst down this right-hand side. He's another man who's been fairly quiet so far in this campaign, but he's looking to change that here as he feeds it into Ollie Watkins, who strikes. It deflects off the defender for a corner, and it's going to be that man, Musa Diaby, to take, and he's going to try and fire it into the penalty spot, looking for Konza, who heads it down, and it's a good save in the end from Ryan. Leon Bailey in the centre of the park fires a wicked ball over to Sacha Bowie on the right-hand side. He goes infield to Yuri Tielemans. He's looking for an option, can only find his way back to Sacha Bowie. He's going to fire it across here. Good ball into the box. And he was inches away from reaching the head of Ollie Watkins there, but unfortunately AZ Alkmaar get it clear. Odegaard, nice ball into the centre of the park, but finds Pavlidis, who blazed it over the bar. Pavlidis into Odegaard. Oh, he skips away from the challenge of one of my defenders, but Alex Moreno on as a substitute does a really good job of winning the ball back, and he feeds in Kamara. Kamara also almost, gave it away, But Leon Bailey now has it, and he turns around the defender really nicely, and he's got the pace to now burst down this left-hand side. He continues. What a piece of play here from Leon Bailey to fire it across. Look at Jimenez over the bar. Oh, we can't believe it. That was a big opportunity for him to score finally on his European Aston Villa debut, but he got the header all wrong. That was high and wide. Well, with under 10 minutes remaining on the clock here, it's so far so good. We are 1-0 up, but as you can see, anything can happen here, and AZ Alkmaar have an opportunity now to get into the box. McGinn, though, with a huge challenge, and now we can surely try and hit them on the counter-attack. Lovely pass into Jimenez, and he releases Leon Bailey again down this left-hand side, and he has the pace. Look at this. He's taken too heavy a touch. He's got it all wrong, and he makes it easy for the goalkeeper, and that really is a story of the attacking play at Aston Villa so far this season. Torres into Kamara. Only moments remaining in this game here as Jimenez tried to feed a ball out wide to Buendia on the right side. Got it all wrong, but fortunately enough, it's Matty Cash who wins the ball back into Jimenez again. Jimenez tried to find Bailey, but the referee had enough, and he blows for full time. Well, it's that man's goal, Ollie Watkins, being the difference maker today between these two teams. As here at full time in our first European game, it finishes AZ Alkmaar 0, Aston Villa 1. Well, it's 2 goals in 2 games for the Englishman, and are we finally starting to see the real Ollie Watkins? His goal is enough to put us top of our group with just 1 game played, and he'll be desperate to see if he can carry that form over to the Premier League, but it is not going to be easy as we face off against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. And with that midweek European game meaning that a bit of fatigue has crept into my usual starting 11, I have had to make a few changes. Martinez keeps his place in goal, as does Sacha Boey on the right side of defence, but Diego Carlos comes in for his first start at the heart of my defence, and he partners Pau Torres along with Estupinian on the left hand side. Douglas Luiz also starts his first game in the Premier League in central defensive midfield with Tielemans and McGinn starting alongside him. Diaby, of course, starts on the right hand side, and it's Buendia who finds himself on the left, with, of course, that man Ollie Watkins leading the line up front. Diaby into Douglas Luiz for his first touch in this game, and what a touch it is! What a ball into Sacha Boey. He tries to check back. It was the wrong option. Ollie Watkins is almost there. Chelsea at 6s and 7s at the back, but fortunately enough, Robert Sanchez manages to come out and snuff the chance. Stupinian down the line. I was looking for a ball into Buendia. I got it all wrong though, and now Chelsea can try and hit us on the counter-attack. It's Madueke down the right-hand side. He finds Chalaba. He tries to burst past to Stupinian. Does manage to wriggle his way past the Ecuadorian, and he continues his run into the box here, into Madueke. Madueke is held up though by Pau Torres, and it looks like Pau Torres has gone and given away a penalty here. I thought that was incredibly harsh, but seemingly the referee does not think so. Pau Torres shakes his head in disbelief. He's got his hands behind his back. He blocks off the player. I mean, it's a really, really harsh decision if you ask me. And you can see I'm absolutely furious here as Chelsea now have the opportunity inside the opening 20 minutes to put themselves in the lead. It is going to be Christopher Nkunku who's going to be the man to step up. Can Martinez save? No, he can't. He sends him the wrong way, and Chelsea take a 1-0 lead here at Stamford Bridge. Well, it was a good penalty by the Frenchman. Completely sent me the wrong way, but it was just so frustrating. I am so disappointed to find ourselves 1-0 down. John McGinn now bursting into the Chelsea box. He's got a wonderful opportunity to cut it back to Buendia. What a save. Well, that was a brilliant response straight away to burst into the Chelsea penalty area, and we've got an opportunity here to try and cut back immediately. What a save again from Sanchez. Well, it's going to be our second corner of the game here, and surely we've got to try and take advantage of these opportunities. As Sacha Boey with his second head, and it's Sanchez with his third big save of the game. And it's going to be our third corner of the game here. It's another one Diaby's going to throw in. This time he looks for Boey again. And this time it's going to be a Chelsea goal kick, much to his frustration, into Moussa Diaby now. Moussa Diaby comes in field and plays a wonderful pass out to Estupinian, who heads it down really nicely. McGinn tried to feed it back to him, but in the end Chelsea defended that really nicely. Now Washington can bring it away from them. Cuts it back into Chalaba. Has the momentum of this Chelsea attack gone? No, it hasn't, because Washington is bursting down this left-hand side. He goes past Pau Torres into Nkunku, who feeds it into Sterling. What a save from Martinez. It rebounds onto the bar, and somehow we manage to get that ball away. Buendia, he wriggles away from a challenge really nicely, and he plays a wonderful ball into McGinn. He feeds it back into Ollie Watkins, who bursts into the Chelsea box here. Watkins to strike. Watkins to score. Well, look at that. There just seems to be no stopping the Englishman now. It's his third goal in as many games, and he has turned his league form on its head. A brilliant, incisive counter-attack. The Chelsea defence had gaping holes open that we were more than happy to take advantage of, and it's a fabulous finish from the Englishman. Just curled it round the goalkeeper. Much to my delight, we're back on on level terms. But it's Chelsea now who have a free kick in a really dangerous position right on the stroke of half-time. They fire into the box. Madueke gets his head all wrong, and the referee blows for half-time. Madueke for Chelsea inside the opening 5 minutes of this second half, and Madueke wins the ball back after a series of good challenges, but it's a Stupinian who wins it back for us. I've been so impressed with him since joining in the summer. Ollie Watkins, though, feeds a ball into Moussa Diaby, switches it onto his left, and he fires a strike past Robert Sanchez to give us a 2-1 lead. Well, it's the Frenchman's first goal of the campaign, and it's Ollie Watkins' first assist. Moussa Diaby just shifted us onto his left, and look at that for a strike, low and hard, past the goalkeeper, into the bottom left-hand corner, and I'm delighted it's 2-1. Caicedo for Chelsea, they're going to try and look to strike back immediately here, and they've got it with Washington in a decent position. He's in the box, but Pau Torres makes amends for his earlier mistake inside the penalty area, and he makes a brilliant challenge, and now we can try and release a ball. What on earth was that? I was looking for a ball down the line into the path of Moussa Diaby, and Tielemans got that one all wrong. Lavia. Oh, that is a fabulous ball into the path of Raheem Sterling. He's going to try and be held up here, but he plays a wonderful ball into Washington, into the box, and he blazes his strike over the bar. Tyrone Mings on as a sub, and in his first appearance and his first pass of the game, he goes and gives the ball away. Fortunately enough, though, he does manage to cover. He makes amends. Perhaps some rustiness from the Englishman there, and that is not really something we can afford right now, with us only being 2-1 up here, as Chelsea now have the momentum, and they try and burst forward with Nkunku. Can't get past Tyrone Mings, though. He does make amends. Eventually, we do manage to get the ball clear. Jacob Ramsey into Moussa Diaby. He's going to try and look for the overlapping run, but he's taken out from behind from Colwell. How on earth has he got a yellow card there? It was a two-footed lunge. He made no attempt to get the ball. And look at Jacob Ramsey. He's absolutely furious. He can't believe it. Let's check the replay out. It was a two-footed lunge straight through the back of Diaby, and he's a lucky man to still be on the pitch. McGinn for Villa to find a ball out wide to Alex Moreno, the left-back, who finds himself in a right-back position, but he's played a wonderful pass into Jacob Ramsey, who tried to play it across, and it could only play it into the path of that man, Levi Colwell, and he manages to get the ball clear. Well, we are deep into stoppage time here, and Chelsea have a free kick in a really dangerous position. It's going to be Christopher Nkunku who's going to step up to take it. He does take it, and Martinez with a really solid stop there, right at the death, as the referee blows for full time. Well, the fans celebrate here. As you can see, I celebrate as I shake the hand of Maurizio Pochettino. Both I and my players know just how important that victory was. That man's goal, Moussa Diaby, was the winner here today. As we seal 3 points at Stamford Bridge, it finishes Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 2. It's our first win of the season since our opening game against Newcastle, and it's a win that drags us back up the table into 12th place and gives us some much needed breathing room from the relegation zone. We're still not quite there yet in terms of our team cohesion, but with 3 goals in his last 3 games, Ollie Watkins is finally starting to find his feet this season. The new signing, Pervis Estupiñán, has slotted in perfectly in that left-back spot, and with things going well for us in Europe so far, and our Carabao Cup campaign about to kick off, I am still confident we can achieve big things this season. But that is it for the end of today's episode. Thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.